Hey everyone, and welcome back to Mr. Smitty's YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be continuing talking about basically a review from last year when we did technical drawing and we also did 3D modeling with Google SketchUp. But today we're going to be looking at a more complex part. Again, based off what we did last year, this is something that you should be able to do. You should be able to look at the technical drawing and then accurately dimension it and reproduce it as a 3D model. But I'm going to make this video just kind of as an enrichment tool / remediation tool for those of y'all that need extra help. So let's go ahead and jump straight into it. Alright, so first thing you need to do is navigate to SketchUp. Alright, so navigating there, you'll see the Trimble or SketchUp logo inside of Trimble loading up. And then once it's loaded, we're going to start a new file. All right, so the drop down, and we're going to use decimal inches. All right, so go ahead and drop down and click on decimal inches. So what we're actually going to be doing today is creating this vice base. So part of the reason I wanted to make the video is some of the dimensions are a little bit different than what we've been doing. So I just wanted to make sure everything was clear. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and delete Temple Grandin, and then the next step is to go ahead and save. So I'm going to call this YouTube Mechanical Model 2, and I'm going to go ahead and call it Vice Base because that's what I'm making. All right, and then I'm going to click Save. And now I'm ready to go because my file is going to be saving as I am working. So the first thing I need to do is I probably should decide where to start. So there are two separate pieces here. There's this piece and this piece. So I think what I want to do is actually start by creating a solid rectangle or rectangular prism for both. So I need the dimension of this first part. So if I take a look in here, I can see that this is 5.5 and this one's 2.69. All right. So the whole thing is 5.5. All right, so 5.5 minus 2.69. All right, so 2.81, which means this side right here is 2.81. Okay. So I'm going to go into SketchUp. Actually, we need the other dimension. So we have 2.81, and then this side here, it looks like it's 2.75. So 2.81 by 2.75. 2.81 comma 2.75, enter. So I'm going to zoom in on that, and let me double check that I put those dimensions in correctly. So this side should have been 2.75. So I actually reversed them. So I'm going to do that again. I'm going to say 2.75 comma 2.81. All right, and that's just because I need this dimension. Oh, sorry, dimension tool. I need this dimension here to match up. So 2.75 and 2.75. All right, so that is just this piece. So I'm going to go ahead and draw the rectangle for this piece too. It is 2.69. All right. So grab this again this way. So it's going to be 2.75 comma 2.69. And something did not go correctly. .75 comma 2.69. There we go. All right, so now these are the two different sections, and I can always double check myself by dimensioning them. All right, so 2.81, 2.69, and the entire thing is 5.5. All right, which is exactly what we wanted. So now I need to figure out how high to go. I see that this is 1 inch high. This back piece is 1 inch high. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my push-pull, and pull that up 1 inch. All right, grab my dimension tool and I'm going to go ahead and dimension it. Now I'm going to take a look at this one. All right, so I'm looking around looking for that vertical dimension. I'm wondering if it actually gives it to me. Okay, so right there, you see it? 1.22. So from the bottom to the top there is 1.22. So I need to go ahead and pull this one up and go 1.22. Alright, I don't think it actually did it, so I'm going to do it again. 1.22, enter. So it looks like it's actually snapping. Alright, let me double check, but it looks like, yeah, see, it's snapping. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually pull this one up to 1.22 first, then pull this one up to 1. Alright, so I think it was auto snapping to the other one. Alright, so again, I'm just going to dimension it to demonstrate that it is actually the exact dimensions we need. Alright, so 1.22 and 1. So at this point, I have the general structure, right? So everything else now is just using my tape measure tool to draw it out and then perform cuts. Alright, so I guess the easiest part to do first is work on these circles back here. Alright, work on the circles. So I see that the center of where the circles is 1.38 in from the middle. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my tape measure tool and I'm going to come and say 1.38. Alright, and then I am going to draw a line all the way across the midpoint. There it is. That way I have a nice center line for when I go to draw these circles. Alright, so now I need to actually find the dimensions of these circles. Oh, but wait, the middle of the circle is 1.25 in. So now I need to go here and say 1.25 and draw a line across. Alright, so that'll be the center of my circle. So I'm going to go ahead and click save. Don't forget to save. Alright, so the first thing I want to do, alright, here are the dimensions for those circles. So it's saying that the inside circle is 1 inch in diameter. Then it's telling me the outside circle is 1.5 inches in diameter. And that it cuts down 0.25. Alright, so the first hole cuts all the way through, the outer hole only goes down 0.25. Alright, so we're going to do the first hole, and its diameter, right, was 1. So if you look at the bottom right, it says radius. So we need to put in the radius. So if the radius, or if the diameter is 1, our radius is 0.5. Alright, and the way we can double check that is if we grab our dimension tool and we click on our circle, diameter is 1. Alright, then we can go ahead and grab our other circle and do 1.5 is the diameter, so I need half of that. So this one would be 0.75. Alright, now I want to go ahead and perform my cut. So I'm going to drag this one to the bottom, so that way it cuts a hole. And then this one went down 0.25. Alright, so now I'm just going to take my dimension tool again, throw that diameter out there, throw that diameter out there. Then I need to measure between that and, actually it's not going to let me do that because it's snapping to the diameter. Let's see, what's a good way to dimension that? I might come back and do it at the end. Alright, and then we can also add these dimensions here. So 0.25 and 1.38. I'm going to move these. They were out here, right? Alright, so I'm just dimensioning according to my drawing. So I'm going to go ahead and click save. So we are pretty much done. Let me double check. We're done with this back piece, so now we just need to work on this piece. So what I'm going to do first is I see that I'm going to do this little bottom notch first. All right, so it is 1.5 in the outside of the middle. So that's going to take a little bit of work on our part. So how far across was this? Well, this whole side was 2.75, and I know that those middle pieces are 1.5. So let me go ahead and grab my calculator again. So 2.75 minus 1.5. That's 1.25. So I know that here to here and here to here together is 1.25. So I need to divide this by 2, and I get 0.625. So basically, I'm just going to draw in some guidelines to help me with that. So I know that somewhere on here, 0.625 is where I got to come in, and 0.625. All right, so those are the points. Those are this point and that point. And now I know that it's 0.38 high. So if I go here and I move up 0.38, I can draw a line across. All right. So the only other thing I need to figure out is how to do this 30-degree angle from that point. All right, guys, I had a little bit of computer issues, but I'm going to edit this all together. But at this point, I have drawn the guidelines here. All right, so let me just review quickly what I just did. I apologize for this kind of being spliced together. But basically, the 0.38 up and the 1.5 in the middle. So just to show you that that is what we have. All right, it's right there. All right, I have an extra line. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. So we have 1.5 in the middle, and then if I take my dimension tool, we're at 0.38 up, which then means we have equal 0.63 and 0.63 on either side. All right, so now we can actually go in here and draw that line across. So that is this line here. All right, and the next thing we need to do is find the 30-degree angle to draw our diagonal lines. So we have to grab our protractor. And the way the protractor works is you click on the vertex and then you click on one of the lines and you can move it to find the right angle. So if we were to draw this out, let me just get a file new. All right, if we were to draw this out, so what we know right now is we have this triangle, and in this triangle, if you take a look, we know that this is 30 degrees. This right here is 30 degrees, right? See, it tells us 30 degrees. This is 30. So what that means is we need to take our protractor, click on the vertex, click on this line, and then type 30. Hold on, that don't look right. Let me see. Well, that's what it's telling me. Let's see. If we go from here to here to 30. Yeah, see, that don't look like that don't look right. Maybe it's trying to tell us that this is 30, so we need to actually do 60. All right, so because that's 30 and this is 90, this is 60. So let's try it with a 60 degree. So I'm going to click the vertex, come out, click the line, come down and type 60. I'm going to click the vertex, click the line, come down, type 60. All right, so that looks a little better. So let me just connect those. Let me connect that. All right, and there we go. So if I were to go in and delete these were just my guidelines for that. You can now see that we have what is supposed to be that 30. All right, so at this point, we see that it's cut all the way through. Well, we at least know it's cut right here, but this is actually a vise base, so it goes onto a table. So this cut does go all the way through. So you need to grab your push-pull, and then we're gonna go and line that push-pull up with that side so that we get a clean cut all the way to, actually it needs to just go there. All right, so on mine, the line disappeared. So to get it back, all right, so see how my surface disappeared there? You click and click, and it'll put the surface back in for you, all right? All right, so far we're doing pretty good. The last thing we have to do is kind of cut out this edge and cut out this edge. So I'm gonna leave that for you, all right? So you're gonna follow the dimension. So you're gonna do exactly what we just did. You're gonna take your tape measure tool, and you're gonna start by just doing some calculations and figuring out where everything's at. So I already see that this is 1.5, and earlier we calculated that that was 2.81. So you're gonna have to do the same thing. 2.81 minus 1.5 divided by 2 is 0.655. So you're gonna wanna come in, actually we'll do it like over here, 0.655, come in, 0.655. All right, and those are gonna be your guide points to work off this. How I can double check myself, you know, what's the dimension here? It should be, oh, dimension tool. The dimension between these, well, it actually, let's see, dimension tool, I can do it from here to here. See, I get the 1.5. All right, so I know that I did that correctly. All right, so you're just gonna draw in this shape, and you're gonna do these final 2 cuts, and then at that point, you should be done. All right, so again, guys, sorry I had to kind of fix a computer issue, and then I'm gonna be splicing this together. I'll do my best to make it make sense. But in class, you're gonna finish this up and submit it. I'll be moving throughout the room to help everybody. So yeah. Appreciate your time, guys. Please subscribe and like if you can. And other than that, I'll see you next time.